Okay, so here's the plan. This is drawn 2 to 1, the scale. But here's a block that I already started. I squared this up, which will be, this block will be this part. It won't be the end cap. The end caps, I went ahead, cut material to the finished size, and bolted it on there. One on each side here, because I'm going to mill at the first side, flip it over, well, flip it over and then mill the other side. What I have left to do to this block before I go and start milling on the NC is to put the 3/8 hole in. I'm not going to put the hole in the bottom here yet, although I should. Maybe I will. I'll put that hole in too. So the 3/8 hole and the 3/16 hole will be in. I'll just put that. I'll put it in. Put the 3/16 in halfway, the 3/8 about halfway, and then I'll flip it over and do 3/8 again about halfway, and 3/16 halfway. The only reason I'm going to go halfway is just in case I would get any walking, especially on the 3/16. The boring should be fine, but if I bore this side and then flip, now I'm loading on the other side. But if I sweep it in, it should be okay to bore all the way through. But just for safety's sake, I'm going to do halfway. So what I'll do is I'll set it up. I can drill all the way through. It's just the finishing with the boring head that I'll only go halfway, or just beyond the finished block here. So that's kind of the plan that I've got. I mean, it's whether it'll work or not. So in my program, what I've got is it coming in, the end mill coming in at the tangent point of where this cap ends, and so it'll do that profile and then ramp out. But before I do that, I'm going to mill the undercut here. It'll mill all that and swing around that. It'll swing around this, and I made these extra long so that they won't catch the bolt. But I see, well, yeah, it would just barely rub the bolt, so I made them extra long. So when it gets done doing that, I'll just cut it off. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go back over to the mill, and we're going to pick up or sweep this in, take one off, pick up this edge. I'm going to sweep it in, take one off, pick up this edge, put it back on, and drill. And what I'll do is I'll drill all the way through, rough drill it, then I'll take the boring head, bore this side, and then flip it and bore that side. And at the same time, well, I'll do this end and then I'll move over, and then we'll do the 3/16 hole center drill and ream halfway down, halfway or a ways down, and then flip it and do the same. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. So I'll be back when we're on the mill picking the stuff up and getting ready to drill through that. Okay, we're over here. We're going to sweep this in, sweep the width of that in, and I got a stop set. Now, that's not going to work. That's not going to work that way, not that stop, because it's hitting on the shoulder. Put it in the right way. It still hits on the shoulder. Well, I do have a little land on both sides. I'm just going to get a gauge block small enough to go into the side. So I'll just lay that up against the stop. And I'll just leave that in the vise right there. Now it should go up against that. Yep. Piece of cake. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick up the center of this. And I'm going to take the drill chuck out, the small drill chuck. And we'll get an indicator. And we'll see if we can get the center of that. All right. So, I'm going to take the light off for the time being again. That way you can kind of see. It actually washes the indicator and everything out. You can't see nothing then. Let's see if I can get over here to this side. Alright, let's see if you can see the indicator. Alright, you should be able to see the indicator now. So, what I'm going to do is just bring it down here, and I just like to try to get the ball centered of the indicator so that there's not so much swing on it. It gives me some kind of an idea, like that. That gives me some kind of idea where to start from, so I can move in and eyeball the center of that, of the block. That's how I start out anyway. Alright, now we'll get the needle bent a little bit, swing it back, come in. I'm going to get my mirror, and we're going to bring it in, and then I'm going to rock it back and forth, find the low spot, which is right there, and carefully zero it. I don't know if you're seeing this. Let me look. Yeah. Well, not really. You can't really see the indicator back there, but I can. All right. There's zero back there. Let's see what we got up here. And I'm not going to bottom it out. I'm just going to get it on there, and then I'm going to rock it back and forth. Make sure I got the low spot. Yeah, she bottoms out, so I got to go in with it. I'll put it on 10, and then I'll bring it back out a little bit so it's not taking up all the travel. Alright, swing around to the back, get my mirror up there, I can see. We're on. We're about 12 thou below, so let's set her on the 6. And then zero it carefully. And rock her back and forth. Yep, 0. Swing her around to the front. Bring her down. Rock her back and forth. Now we're about 1 thou away from center. So we'll just knock her over that half thou and zero my readout right there. 0Y. So we're on center. So now I want to take this end, the bearing cap off, and I want to pick up the edge of that. Now, I don't know do I want to go through the effort of getting the, yes I do. I want to get the exact center of that edge. So I need an Allen wrench to take that cap off first thing. Not sure which Allen wrench it was. That one right there, I guess. Tighten that baby up. Loosen them up. Actually, I can take and just swing it down. Just take it loose, take one out, the other one's loose, and I'll just swing it down and out of the way. It should give me enough room. If I can. If I can swing it. Nope, can't swing it far enough. Alright, well, take it out all the way. Or take it off all the way. Alright, I'm just going to lay that down here and wipe that real good. And now, I'm going to show you how to pick up an edge with just an indicator and a block. I'll lower you down so you can see. Maybe. I don't know how many of you know how to do this or not. So I'm just going to assume. I'm just going to assume that I'm breaking new ground or something. All right. So what I have is, what I'm using is just a, it's a 100th thou gauge block. You can use any kind of block as long as it's flat. So what you do is you come down first with the indicator and get close. And that's the same thing as what I done when I found the center. I just kind of get the ball to not move too much so that it gives me an idea if I'm on center or not, or close to center, I mean. Alright, so that way I'm like that. It's got to go to minus a little bit. Alright, when you get close to where you think you're fairly close to the center, then you just go ahead, knock your indicator out a ways, you know, and then bring your needle in a little bit, come down, come up to that edge, and I'm going to move the camera to the other side so you can see the dial. Darn camera, focus, darn it. Okay, so so I bring the needle in until it touches, and put some pressure on it, or put some travel on it, and then swing it back and forth. Now you'll notice it's dropping, going. Let's see. That's dropping, going that way, so you want to push your needle that way a little bit. Not much, just a little. You want to get it so that it doesn't drop. I don't know how to explain it, but right there. See, now I got the needle or the indicator so that it gets heavy there, heavy there. So I'm in the center, Crank that to set it at 0. Come up. Swing around. Put your gauge block up here. And put it on there. Put it on the indicator. And then you do the same thing from this side. Okay, so I actually got it pretty close by the eyeball. I'm 5.5 thou off center. So I gotta go X minus about 4.25. No, 5.5. 2 in. So, okay, I'm gonna try it right there. I'm gonna 0 it. Sorry you can't see this side, but it's doing the same thing as what I did on the other side. You'll see it. Okay, so there's 0. Take your block away carefully. Swing your indicator around and come back down on it without bottoming it out. Okay, so I am about 1.5 now. So I need to go about 3/4 of a thousandths. I'm trying to get around here. I'm so far away from the indicator I can't see. I think it's right there. Let's see. Okay, well, 0. Bring it up. Swing it around. You want to get it. You don't want to get it to where it's kind of straight before you put the, so you don't bottom the indicator out. Okay. Wow. Right on. Right on 0 right there. So now we're dead center on with the spindle. And that's how I do it if I want to get dead on. I do have a chair which does the same thing. You just put it up against your edge and then swing it in. But I actually find using just a block or a gauge block or a block or anything, doing it this way to me is easier. I don't know why. It just, I don't have to dig out the chair, I guess. So anyway, that's picking up an edge with just an indicator and a block. So I zeroed my DRO. I'm going to move that out, take the indicator out, put the light back up there, and put that block back on. Let's see, do I have a T-handle that small? I don't know if I do or not. Nope. So, have to pull the crap off of it. So I'm going to try to hold that up there and get the screw started. Come on, find a hole. There we go. I made these blocks yesterday, and then I didn't video any of it. So it's just making a block and picking up the center and then moving out 5/16 this way and 5/16 that way and drilling holes. So nothing spectacular. This ain't nothing spectacular either, really. but it's all getting ready for the NC. And tighten that up. Tighten this one up. Take my parallel out from underneath so I don't forget. The gauge block will probably drop. Well, stay in there. And now we'll put the drill chuck in. Like I say, this is just a rough drill. I'll bore it afterwards. And I hate moving my knee once I've got it picked in, but my head is dialed in pretty darn close, so it shouldn't move too much. Because what happens is if your head isn't dialed in absolutely straight, you move the knee, you're gonna move it this way, and you could move it this way. I don't know, I think I've mentioned it a few times, but I hate, if I'm doing something that's I want right on, I don't like to move my knee. Alright, center drill. I'm going to move you to the other side again. Kind of zoom you in a little bit. I got you set back away so that I got control are clear. Alright, in gear. I'm not gonna just drill it right up the side. I'm gonna go through the small drill first. Oop. I'm gonna go through with the small drill first. I don't want to put too much pressure on that cap, on those little screws. So we'll just go through with the small drill, and then we'll step it up. Put some goop on it. Okay, the drill's drilling like a half now because I'm through the top. You know, because you only have half of a. So I'm going to keep this drill out for the other side. And then we'll go up to a 5/16 if I can get it in there. I gotta move some more. I think I'm gonna slow that RPM down one notch. Wish I had a variable speed, but I don't. That's all I dare to go, because with drilling at half, it's going to put a lot of pressure on that cap. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side before I set up the boring head. So take this out of there, but I don't want to drop my gauge block down in no man's land. All right. All right, well, put parallel back in. Set the gauge block back up there. The gauge block is is loading against this surface here that my stop is too thick to get at. I'm going to hit this with a file here. Got just a bit of a... There we go. And stick that in there. Slide it up against gauge block. Pull the parallel out so I don't forget. And get the... Slide to put the center drill away. Center drill. Small drill. Okay, and put the big drill, 5/16 drill in. I need to order some more brushes. Bristles are getting pretty small. Getting pretty short on that, on the bristles. Right there, when I feel it start to do a half cut, then I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to get the boring head set up. So I'll be back when I get the boring head set up and I start boring. And what I'll do is I'll probably bore, flipping it back and forth until I get close to the finish size. I'll be back. Okay, I've got a boring bar set in there. In the boring head. Got the boring head all the way back up. That's the smallest hole that boring bar can make. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the depth. So what I'm going to do is get it down here. And I know I want to be at least 300. So I'm going to go down here and get the point of the boring bar lined up. Right about there. And I want it at least 300, so I'm going to get like a 330 or something drill, a 328 drill, and I'm going to take and put that in here, turn my collet stop up tight against it, come on. So that's fairly snug in there. And we'll just take the lock nut up against it too. Just so it doesn't move anywhere. And we'll lock them. There we go. So now we got our depth set. We can go ahead and try to bore down that without getting too much chatter when it breaks through the other side. Oh, I'm going to set my feed rate at 1, slow, engage it, power feed on. That might be a little fast. I'm going to slow her down one more notch. That's better. I feel more comfortable there. Okay. Kick her in. Okay, that's this side. Now I wanna do one side, then flip it, and then do the other side. Let me get this gauge block out of here so I don't lose it. Parallel underneath. And we'll pull this out. And we'll just double check to make sure, oh yeah, we went deep enough. So now, I'm going to hit this side with the file too. Hit this side. Alright, so what we're going to do is going to flip it. Oh, put my gauge block in there. Wouldn't be good if I didn't have that gauge block in there. It'd be over here somewhere. Alright. Bring her down. Kick the feet in. Put a little bit of stuff on the end, and away we go. That's just kind of setting it where we're at. So now, I think that's pretty far undersized. Yeah, it's a long ways from. We're at 340, so I'm going to go 10, 20. I'm going to go 20 at least. If I can read the dial here. Now we're sitting kind of in the middle of stuff. I'm going to go to. Oh, wait a minute. That was, I backed it off and never took the backlash out. So I'm going to go right to there. Hopefully it's not oversized. Bring her down, lock the feed. And I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to double. Take a free pass. Spring pass. Okay. I'm going to take it out of there. Give it a little shot of air. I think we might have to go, I'm looking at it, it does look like we might have to go a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to crank the knee. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just going to down a little bit. Let's see what that is. 50. 350. So I'm going to flip to the other side. Get it caught up. Here. Lock it in. Two passes. And I believe I made the journals on the crank at nominal. I'm going to have to grab a mic and check it. Yeah, it's just a burr hanging, I believe. Well, we might have to go a little deeper yet. Okay. Trying to get it so that the finished or the diameter is all the way through. I'm gonna grab a mic and mic the journal over there. If I can find where they use the mic. Oh, that's right. I don't know if I can get in there with a mic. I'll measure it with the calipers, but that's not exactly right. Yeah, it's according to the calipers, it's right on the nominal. Nominal. And we're at 350. I'm just going to take 10 more. I'm going to sneak up on it. Not going to get in a hurry here. 10 more. So we're right there. Set it right at the 0 on the dial. Let's see where we're at. It's going to go a little deeper. Twice. Not that it's really necessary to go twice, but I'll do it anyway. Let's see what we're at. We're at about 360 now. So now that I'm close, I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and we're going to take that side to finish. Oh, I'm going to go through it first, duh. We'll adjust it up. We'll sneak up on the finish. I'll get a 3/8 pin or an end mill or something to slide through it. I don't know how sharp that boring bar is. That's why I'm doing a double. Because I noticed when it's retracting, it does leave the trail on the first pass through. Second pass is clean. Alright. According to this, is 15 thou. So we're going to go 10. 13. Wish I had a set of gauge pins. Wish I had a set of gauge pins, the lower ones. I don't need the bigger ones, but the 3/8 and stuff like that. I end up a lot of times using a drill or end mill shank or. Okay, so according to this, it's It is about 373. Get a 3/8 ring on here. Just make sure.
I think I'm going to take some more free passes. It's kind of a weird finish in that hole. Kind of a weird finish in that hole. Then better? It looks better. Oh, look at that.
That'll work. Just got to take a few free passes is all. I actually wish I would have took one less free pass. But it'll be okay. Sometimes I wish I had a half foul, you know, just a little bit slower speed. And what I'm going to do is feed up. I'm going to feed out also. The other side of that boring bar. That boring bar has got
I think that's going to be it right there.
We'll stop. So that's it. We got our got them bored. If this one ends up being a little loose, I will just file the cap down a little bit and bring it in. It'll be a little bit of an oblong cap, but that's fine. It'll be okay. So now we can do our 3/16 hole over here, which is no more than just moving over and drilling and reaming, flip it and drill and reaming. So I'm not going to video that. I'll video it when we get back over to the NC and I start setting up. So I'll be back.